Good evening, everyone. It's Eric with His&Hers, HHQ. I'm going to try to make this a relatively brief update. So through a brilliant bit of deductive reasoning, I figured out why the car has such a warp to it. Okay, that's a lie. It was pure dumb luck. So I was taking a moment and I was going to be stepping away from the bench and go play with my granddaughter. And I stood up, and the car happened to be sitting just right on my one cutting mat. And I leaned over the desk to shut off my lamps, and I just glanced down, and I was like, well, I got the driver's side body panel lined up with that one line. And I was looking at it, and I went, why doesn't that look right? So I'm getting to looking at it and looking at it. I shifted the body a little bit, and I moved the front end of the car. The front end of the car until it was lined up with one of the lines. Now, if you have this kit or have built this kit, you know that this whole piece here, the engine compartment, the top of the fenders, and the top of the dash are all one piece, and then the body sides glue to it. What I discovered is that this should be a square, but it's not. It's actually, instead of a square, it's shifted slightly. The whole daggum thing right here is actually shifted backwards by a millimeter and a half, maybe. I mean, it's not much, but it's enough of a shift that when you have all the pins lined up and everything glued together here, this portion wants to bend up because this is forcing here. You get the whole physics. I'm a little frustrated. I mean, I don't know how well, if you can see that. Over here has just got a slight, I don't know if I was one of the lucky guys that just happened to get the one where the square is actually not. But that's okay. I'm going to work with it. I've done some test fitting and everything with the front bumper and the back bumper, and things will pretty well line up. And oh yes, I did get the inner body panels in. I know in the last video you saw the one. I got the second one in. This process of test fitting has shown some monumental issues. Well, such as this part here, this flat forward surface and this flat forward surface. If you look trying to get this assembled, this flat forward surface actually has, well, about 0.5 millimeter left of sanding. I don't know how well you can see this, but I've done quite a bit of sanding. I know it's kind of dark, but I've done quite a bit of sanding here. And just a little bit here to try and even things up, but it's the oddest thing. It's like it's trying to test me every step of the way. But I did do some test fitting, getting this in here. And once things are pressed into place here and here, then it actually, the whole thing just, it actually does kind of pull completely straight. Yes, as you can see, I did clip those nibs there off the back of the deck lid. I attached them. I have just a little bit more sanding to do. I missed a couple little spots here, so it's going to be a little bit more filler. But otherwise, the entire thing is actually looking pretty good. It's actually pretty smooth. So, I mean, this is coming along nicely. I even this out a little bit. I don't know if you could tell, but this lower portion was kind of sticking out some from here. I've also done some general body sanding just because you can see various imperfections, and I'm trying to get it smooth. Again, when I cover my videos, I'm trying to show that you can do a model straight out of the box and still turn out a really good model. Just something to really enjoy yourself. Then you can do a model out of the box and, well, give it that extra touch, that little bit of extra love and attention, and give it that extra detail just to present that better looking model. And it's just one of those things that could lead to some scratch building, as I've been doing here, or some specific cleanup. And then the other set of videos is, well, obviously, just because that's what's in the box doesn't mean that's what has to come out of the box. So the Sea King was a straight out of the box build, nothing fancy to it. It was, any of the effects or extra look to it was just paint and some pastels. That's all it was. This, I want to, well, it's a dedication to my mother. It's an homage to a kit that this exact kit actually that she built, and I'm taking it those extra steps further. I'm going as far out. I'm pushing my level of experience so I can turn the best kit possible. And again, I'm not saying I would ever enter it in a model contest, because most likely not. In my area, I don't think there's even a model club. I did see I did come across a new YouTube channel, and I think I understood that guy is somewhere here in Missouri, but I'm not positive. But otherwise, I mean, I'm sure, I know there's other people here in Missouri that build models. But there's no model clubs that I know of anywhere in my general area that I know of. So I wouldn't even know about any model shows. So the likelihood of any of my builds winding up in one is pretty nil. But otherwise, I'm building for me, so I'm pushing myself to do the best I can for myself. And, that's the point of building models, is build for yourself. When you're happy, then you want to keep going. Don't fall into that pit of getting to the point of trying to create perfect models every time, because you may wind up burning yourself out. That's why you jump into that build straight out of the box, nothing fancy. And then you push yourself and try new things and completely scratch build something out of the ordinary. Kind of like my post-apocalyptic build or Frankenstein's monster van truck thing. And use those examples to really push yourself when you're trying to go for that extra mile. But anyway, here I am, just rambling. Doing a little bit of scratch building here and there. I did some test fitting here, and I found that the back seat right here, where it abuts up to here and here, is extraordinarily tight. So that's one of those things I'm gonna have to address as I go along. And every single actual 59 Galaxie I saw had a heater box or something right here. So I'm going to kind of try to do a representation of that. And I did notice it. I mean, it did have the little vents that kind of angled out to the passenger and driver like that. So I'm going to kind of try and do something like that. I don't know how well you can see that. But anyway, it's a work in progress. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of cleanup done. As you can see, where the fit was just absolutely horrible with the engine halves. But again, you know, it's a cleanup and nobody will see it but me. And actually, now that I think about it, you guys too, because you're watching the video and you're seeing the issues I'm having. Yeah, this will get a little more cleanup to it. And then I found this funny. I was going to drill a couple of holes so I could wire it up. And this is supposed to be an 8-cylinder. Obviously, you got 4 on one side, 4 on the other. But if you look closely, you know, feel free to pause the video and count. There are only 7 nibs here where you plug in the plug wires. I mean, you have, oh dear God, I am so tired. You have your coil wire that connects to the distributor, and then you have 7 instead of 8 points for the plug wires. So that is obviously a monumental oversight. But anyway, I digress. I'm having a little bit of fun with this. I'm tired and I'm fixing to shut down for the evening. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning and I have yet to stop. So anyway, this is where we're at. I was going to say something. Oh, dang it. That's what you get for being tired. I did notice a lot of, I was informed, you know, my kids helping me out here, of several comments. I will try here in the next few days to get to commenting back. And again, thank you for the encouragement. But I'm glad I could put this out there for you. If you have this kit in your stash and you haven't assembled it yet, I hope everything that I'm doing here can give you some inspiration or insight into what you may be facing if you go to build this kit. If you've already built the kit, you already understand the struggle. So let's enjoy this Revell 1959 Ford Galaxie together, and we'll keep right on going. I'm treating it like we're cruising Route 66. We're heading from Chicago to LA. The last video I said we were just east of St. Louis. I would say we're now just west of St. Louis. Maybe getting in the, I don't know, Cuba area, something like that, you know, somewhere along those lines. But we are cruising along, still got a couple thousand more miles to go and a lot more build to cover, but we're going to get there. We're going to enjoy this route, this cruise along the route together. Coming up here in the local area, there is a car show. It's the Cave State Cruisers. It's not this weekend, but next weekend. And I'm going to try and get some video of the cars. Now, I'm going primarily for my granddaughter because I got her hooked on cars. And I mean, she's not even 18 months old yet, and she just loves to sit there and do the vroom vroom noise all over the place and just goes crazy whenever I put car videos up on YouTube. So she is she's getting a big surprise come next weekend. So those are going to be pictures and videos for me, but you guys will get to see the cars. I'm going to try and get pieced together some videos, some of the cars there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's hopefully be able to share some ideas and classic beauties with all of you that enjoy the cars. Oh yes, that's what it was. See, my brain's all over the place and I'm tired. I was talking to someone and they asked me about how I achieved the look I did on the promo build. And I'm going to tell all of you, if you like to build strictly cars, take a moment and visit some of those YouTube channels that cover armor or aircraft. It's one of those things we could all really learn from all the genres together. That's where I got a lot of my inspiration for a lot of the techniques I've been developing. Feel free to copy that. Of course, everybody gets, now I'm not going to do it with this kit, but everybody understands you can lay a flat red primer down and then give it a primary body coat, and then give it a really light sanding in various spots and bring out the rust undercoat. Or you can do the flat red primer, do the salt and hairspray and then salt, and then very carefully get rid of the salt with water and a toothbrush or whatever. But if you get into watching some of those armor guys like Night Shift, another one to really watch is Laser Creation World. I will try to, here in the next video or two, try and make sure I get these guys linked, so feel free to go over and check them out if you haven't already. But if you take those two steps and you have your paint job now sanded down a little bit, you've got your rust undertone popping and everything's looking great, you start incorporating some of these other techniques, like sponging on the color variants, the primary body color, slightly lightened with a white color, just to give it that extra bit of fade. Sponge that in place, and then maybe sponge in a little bit of extra rust tone. Also using a fine brush. Night Shift, really, he is a technical artist when it comes to applying weathering. And it's fantastic. You can really turn a fantastic car with just watching his stuff. Laser Creation World, he works with nothing but acrylics, and he can, using every technique that I just described, he then throws on a wash, like the whole body, and make sure the entire, like if I were going to do something for this panel here to here, like I would apply a water that's got a couple of drops of Dawn dish soap in it to break surface tension, wet this area, and then using the acrylics, like the burnt umber or something like that, start applying a wash down low and let the wet actually gradiate out. It provides a gradient, so you're getting a better transition, as it were. So it's just one of those things that just all combined turns a fantastic kit. But okay, so I've talked way too long, and I do apologize. I have more scratch building to do. I'm hoping, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking, at the rate I'm going, I will have the trunk dealt with, and then be able to have primer on this, and have my plug wires figured out, and have primer on this by Sunday's video. I'm going to try to get the rest of the roof together before Sunday's video, so you can see where we're at and really get a sense and a feel of things. But the body is presenting the most work, and it's just one of those things. Even though I'm bouncing around, I still keep coming back to this body. So anyway, glad to have you along, and I'm Eric with His&Hers HHQ. Take a moment, head on over to Facebook, follow us at His&Hers Hobby Headquarters, and if you find this informative or even entertaining, take a moment and like, comment, share the videos, and always remember to subscribe. It's free of charge, costs you nothing, and we really appreciate it. Help continue to spread the hobby of scale model building. I'm Eric. Have a good day.